Hey guys, sorry about the bouncing of the schedule a little bit. Uh, and sorry about a little bit late, me throwing up, hey, I'm live, and then camping out. I was talking with my moderator. We're doing a little bit of planning in the background. Yeah, a little bit of plotting in the background. Possibility of new things coming, especially to this channel. We shall see how things end up. One of the things coming is, for those that watch my Game Prep Friday know I have been working on the old A series, the old Slavers series, A1 through 4. I have found a conversion to 5th edition, and I've been putting it into Fantasy Grounds. Well, last night I found out I have a whole month of Tuesdays free. As in, Tuesdays in December are now free. So I need to build a team of adventurers to see what's going on. But my name is Dennis. This is Scarlet Watch. This is Chronicles. I use Chronicles for history of the personal campaign and history of the game world I run in, and a few other things. Software I use to play D&D with is Fantasy Grounds Unity. Right now, Fantasy Grounds is on sale. The licenses are on sale for 50% off. Just about everything in their store is on sale from anywhere from 20 to 50% off. Absolutely amazing deals. There is a link there in the chat. That is, now I'm going to be right up front. I am an affiliate for Fantasy Grounds. You click that link, it puts a cookie on your system, and I get credit for what you buy. I get a little bit of credit. I get a little bit of kickback. It'll help me buy books, help me buy a few other things here and there. It's not a whole lot, but every little bit helps. If you like what you see here, this is being recorded. And we have a YouTube channel by the same name. Please go over there, give us a follow, ring that subscription bell, and you'll get notified if you miss the stream. You'll get notified when I upload things, and I usually upload them within 48 hours. If I don't, something's gone sideways either with the feed or my brain, one of the two. It's usually my brain, and that's just how it works. Our logos, our artwork, our amazing icons and such is done by Vector Moon Graphics. And right now, Vector Moon Graphics on their Facebook page, which we have thrown up a link, is doing a holiday giveaway. And I think that ends the 5th or the 6th of December. It's a contest. You like, you share, you follow, and it puts you in a contest for either a engraved mug or an engraved lock top bottle. Work is absolutely amazing, and as you can see here, this is the logo work that they did for me. I absolutely love their work. So go give them some love, please. Go give them some love. Let's see here. Discord. We have a Discord server. Believe it or not, yeah, I have a Discord server. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Yeah. You want to leave me messages, want to talk to me when I'm not here streaming, shoot me a note, leave me a message. There's even a voice channel for people to pop into. Yeah, give us a holler. And I usually post news about upcoming games or things like that that's coming up. And if I'm looking for players for games, I will post there as well. So yeah, give us a follow, give us a look. Look us up. We have a lot of fun over there. Oh, let's see here. I think I've got everything. Oh, nope. I have forgotten something. The noise in my ears told me here. Music you hear in the background is tabletop audio. Absolutely wonderful thing. And I discovered, thank you, Fizzy Pop Cultured, they also do sound effects. I use them primarily for ambiance music, just to kind of give a feed, give a little bit of music in the background here, fill some of the dead space. That's what I use them for. I absolutely love it. The music they do are in 10-minute loops. They have a player on the website, and you can stack loops, and they'll all play, and then they'll loop. It's amazing. It's kind of a fire and forget DM tool. If you know the generalized feel of what your game's going to be that session, you can stack these up. And if you have to, if you need to, you can bop around on that list a little bit too. So it's a wonderful little tool. I thoroughly enjoy them. Software I'm currently using, I have stepped away from OBS for streaming. I know that is the industry standard for free streaming. It is free. It is wonderful. It is also, in my opinion, clunky. And I've struggled and struggled and struggled with it. I went over to XSplit. XSplit does have a free version, so you can give them a try. A few things the free version does not do. It does not let you record and stream at the same time. And that was something I didn't know. So I'm test driving it. I subscribed to them for a month. If I like it, I will probably buy the lifetime license. That's just kind of how I roll. But that's part of the new layout here, and part of the new camera effects is thanks to XSplit and some of the other software they offer. We shall see how this works. And I think that's all the business I have at the moment. I'm not positive, but I think that is all the business I have. Personal schedule here. We will be here Sunday. Yes, I'm actually playing Sunday for Dwarven Forge. That is the homebrew game I'm running. One of two, actually. And that's where that's why this history lesson is here. We started playing that campaign over 3 years ago. And we just recently brought it to stream, and we realized, oh my, there's a whole lot of history. There's going to be a whole lot of references mentioned that the audience will have no bloody clue on. It's like, no, I need to bring them up to speed somehow. So that's where this comes from. This is Chronicles. This is the history of that campaign. Now, I only do that every other Sunday. The opposite Sunday, I am over at Fizzy Pop Culture playing in Exiles. We have one more session before we go on hiatus there. That is not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. Then we're going to go on hiatus for the holidays. Tuesdays, well, you missed it because yesterday was the last day for Tomes of Samovar for a couple of months. We're going to go on hiatus there. And then Friday afternoon, I do a Game Prep Friday where I sit here and I work on Game Prep for about 2 hours and sit and chat with you guys. I really enjoy that time. I have a lot of fun with that, and people that pop in and say hello, they seem to enjoy it as well. So that's my schedule. That's what's going on right now, and welcome to Chronicles. So a little history on this particular game world. And we're about to hit an ad break here, but I'm going to go ahead and dive into that anyway. But a little history on this game world. I've been fiddling with this world for well over 30 years. And it's done a lot of evolving, a lot of changing. And where it started to gel at was I was a Renaissance Fair performer. I'm a storyteller. And I started telling stories about a land where magic was real. And I started pulling these stories from campaigns I'd played and campaigns I'd run. And realized, that's a world. That's a proper setting. Let's go ahead and set it up. And that's what I started to do. Well, tonight I kind of want to give you guys a gift. I'm a part-time writer. Like I said, I'm a storyteller, so I'm kind of a part-time writer. And what I'll do is I'll write myself little blurbs about the world. And I'll share it with people. Most of it is writing for myself, but I'll share it with people. Or I'll base whole stories in this world. And the stories are actually canon for this world. So we're going to do something I haven't done here. And we're going to do a story. And it's been a while since I've done one of these, so please bear with me. Bear with this old man here, because it's been a little bit. And I'm going to move my cheat sheet around here. And I usually don't use a cheat sheet. Oh, shall I wait for the ad to run through? Because I don't know if everybody in here has a sub or not. But I got 5 of you guys in here. Hey. And by the way, guys, welcome to the stream. I do appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, we will wait till the commercial break's over with here. We're going to do this ad break here for those that are still with me. Woohoo. and then from there we're going to move on. I hope everybody's going to have a wonderful day tomorrow. Spend time with family, spend time with friends. Family's not always blood, guys. Family is a group of people that you turn into family. Family's a group that you make into a family. And, yeah. And I've discovered that over the last few years. I really have. Family's not blood, not necessarily. I've got some very good friends that I consider family anymore. And we're not related in any way, shape, or form. It's kind of fun. And there is the ad break is over, so I'm going to go into this. So this story takes place in the winter. And the principles of the story is a young girl and her guardian. And these are the principles of this story. But why must we go? Her voice was little, a whine. She was frustrated and didn't want to travel. I don't want to go into the city. I want to stay here. The old warrior's voice was soft, kind, patient. Because, little one, we were invited. We were invited to share a meal with friends, to spend time with these good friends. But why today? What makes today so special? It was an honest question. He realized that she was too young to remember what made this day so special to so many folks. Many had forgotten what had happened so long ago. So he looks down at her and smiles. I'll tell you as we travel, little one. He takes a few more steps, closes his eyes, and sighs. An age ago, the land was not as free and tamed as it is now. A lich, an undead wizard, ruled the land with an iron fist. He pitted family against family, friend against friend, ruled the lands with manipulation, terror, and greed. It was nothing for a child to sell a parent out for their own safety. Friendships were rare, and trust was even rarer. The only thing that kept people together was fear. She listened as they traveled to the stone archway that would whisk them away to the city. They didn't have friends? They couldn't trust anyone? How? That's not right. Was he truly that mean? That evil? Nodding to her, he was. He was so evil that his name today is barely spoken. That when it is spoken, it is usually as a curse or only in dire times. Most have forgotten his name. But what does he have to do with all this? With sharing a meal with friends and family? If he was so evil, why is this celebration honored? It's not him that we are honoring. His voice cracks a little bit. It is those that overthrew him. It is those that destroyed him. That is who we honor. It was a group of brave people. A group that defied all the odds and became friends, even through hardships of betrayals by family, by those close to them. They stayed together. How? How did they do that? How did they stay so loyal? Her voice was a little bit filled with fear at this point. Softly, the old man replies. They chose to trust each other. They shared their lives. They opened up. Even the darkest secrets they told each other. They made sure that there was simply nothing that could surprise the rest of the group. They also, once a month, shared a meal together. Most of the time it was a simple meal. But once a year, they would invite all their friends, all their family to join in a grand meal and celebration of life and of the year. The good and the bad. They took this time to thank each other and the gods for all of it. He pauses as they reach the stone arch that's the magical gate to the city and sighs. It was one of these grand gatherings that the Lich had ambushed the group. He had turned several members of the family into undead to serve him. He had attacked and tried to use terror and distrust to his family and to his advantage. The friends instead banded closer and not only defended themselves, but defeated the Lich's forces, freeing their families. At this point, her eyes go wide. They were adventurers? A little bit of hope in her voice at this point. He nods. They were. And that was the day that changed the course of their lives. It was from that attack that they started to openly hunt the Lich and his forces, eventually defeating them. But the price was high. All but 3 members of the party did not survive. In spite of this loss, they still gathered. They still gathered to give their thanks for what they had and for what they lost. The old man swallows hard as he touches the gems in the arch that activates the magic woven into the stone. And the gate itself hums to life. As the gate hums to life, mist swirls around it, obscuring the view through the gate, but magic can be felt thrumming from it. The celebration caught on, and to this day, friends and family gather to share meals and give thanks on this very day. Little one smiles, takes his hand. So that is why we must go to the city today? Then I'm ready to go. As they step through the gate, the old man whispers to the wind, "Thank you, my friends. You will never be forgotten." And with that, they are whisked away to the city. Call that piece Friendsgiving. And that actually occurred. So those events were canon in this world. There was a Lich. Very powerful one. Very dangerous one. He terrorized the world, held it in an iron grip for a very long time. And eventually it was broken. Now, on to semi-current events. We left off Chronicles last episode with the party being ported to the Elven Nation. And then the Elven Nation whisking them back to Stone Sentinels, back to the city which they came. And let me grab game notes here. I have a wonderful note taker, and she keeps me straight most of the time. Going to take me a minute to scroll down here. Oh, that was a side quest we went on. Wow. And yeah, we'll cover this. So they were in the arena proper, and I will bring this map up because that'll help jog my old memory. Anyone that's been around a while understands memory hiccups. And please, guys, if you've got questions, please let me know. I will gleefully answer questions. Excuse me. There it is. And this is how far my map making has come, because this was a beast. And I've learned not to make maps this busy or big. This was a huge map, and it was incredibly busy. The background at this point in time hurts my eyes. Things I've learned in Fantasy Grounds. Oh. So the party had found themselves in the arena proper, and Amphivalus, the party's cleric, had figured out what glyphs, what sigils to mark to activate a teleportation ring. And when they teleported, they was teleported into a round wooden room and surrounded by humanoids in plate armor, and then a couple other humanoids come up with wands. They were actually elves. And with a little bit of talking back and forth, we figure one of the elves can speak common. And he eventually introduces himself as Kimmel. And he takes the party from the teleportation room to another side room. Make sure they have beverage, make sure they have food. And then they post a guard. And he explains that it's a festival day there in the Elven Nation, but they can't stay. He's got to find them a way home. And they post the guard not to protect the elves from the players, but from the players from the elves. The elves do not tolerate visitors very well. And they were surprised that the portal was active. They didn't think any of the old portals still worked. So they wasn't overly worried about this one right there in the middle of their nation, because it hadn't fired off in, for them, nearly a generation. So they weren't worried about it any longer. And now all of a sudden they're firing back up, and they're worried. And there's members there that know the old codes, know the old sigils, and they were going to make sure that the party got returned to Stone Sentinels. The party shares information with them about what they've seen in the last month or so of the orcs, of the giants, of the armies amassing. And as they tell them, as the party tells them what's going on, they go fetch an elder. And the elder comes in and sits with the party and tells them of the falling of the Eyrie, which they now know as the arena. And then he asks if the Sentinels are talking. And at this, the party's confused. They're not sure what he's talking about. And come to find out, the Sentinels are the 5 towers in the city. And this is when a couple members of the party go, yeah, I've heard voices from them. And then he asks if they're walking. And they give him a puzzled look, and he goes, well, the Sentinels should be at the furthest out compass points. And the whole group goes, no, they're not there. They're closer. And that's when they were worried. Oh, I've forgotten about this. The elves actually hand the party communication crystals to talk with the elves. I forgot the party had those. Wow. And then they put the party in a portal and teleport them back to Stone Sentinels. Now, teleportation magic and portal magic, especially if it hasn't been used in a while, and the person hasn't been to the place in a while, sometimes the world shifts. Sometimes magic works a little wonky. Any DM, any player, any storyteller kind of knows this. This is, sometimes the magic works wonderful, sometimes it doesn't. It's the nature of magic. Magic can be a fickle thing. It truly can. And, Get back down to where I was at. There we are. When the elves send them back to Stone Sentinels, they miss. We'll just put it that way. They miss. They don't send them to a teleportation circle. They actually port them to the town square. And instead of at ground level, they're ported about 6-7 feet up. Not a little further. And when they come in, they literally fall out of the sky. For us old folks, think the series Sliders as they come out of one of the portals. yeah, Woden. Yeah, we all know how fun Magic can be as a DM. And as they come out of this portal, they drop out of the sky, and this is where they meet their wizard. This is where they meet Vasto. They literally drop out of the sky onto the poor guy. Land on him in a heap, and he is at the bottom of the heap. As a, whoops, sorry, and as an apology, the party invites him to the Shadow's Haunt, which is kind of where they've been staying, and where one of their patrons works out of. And invites him there for at least a drink, if not some food. And this is where Amphipolis leaves the party to attend to reports that he has to make. And he leaves Simber with the group. And Simber is our Ganassi warrior. And from there, the party goes and meets Tina there in the Shadow's Haunt. This is where they get debriefed. Oh. Sorry about that. My sinus is just flooded. It's just like wham. And as the party is debriefed, Tina brings out a black crystal and explains to the party how the towers work and how they're actually a trap and a lock for an infernal gate. And when they're activated, the stones come alive. The stones are now moving, so someone's messing with the infernal gate. She's decided part of the problem is the leadership that's running the arena. And she hires the party to sneak in and execute this leader. The leader's name is Raven Shadowfeather. And she suspects that Raven was the voice the party heard when they were in the arena, in the battle part of the arena, and was told, welcome to the arena. She suspects that's who that was Raven. Excuse me. Now, from there, the party talks amongst themselves and decides that the way station that they'd found, the dwarven way station that they found, they decide they want to feed it with magic to see if they can activate more systems on that way station. And then Tina says she needs at least 3 days to let everybody that's involved knows what's going on, and so she can make sure the party's properly supplied and get some plans put together for the party to go in there and do a strategic strike and possibly try to assassinate this Raven Shadowfeather. And she lets the party know, hey, give her at least 3 days, and then she can port him back to the arcane tower. The tower with the basement, and that's also the tower where that group of people were absolutely massacred. And it's a group of researchers and a group from Stone Sentinels here. And from there, excuse me, from there, actually, the group took a little bit of a hiatus. Because that was in May. We played that in May. And I asked the players, hey, let me know what your character's going to be doing for a while. It's kind of one of the things I do. So during that time period, Indy, one of our rogues that's turning artificer, finds a regional map in his book. And he researches it in the city library, and to find out more about the ages of this world that they know of. And he finds out there's catacombs underneath the city. And talks with people there and seeing who's interested in going down in the catacombs for more information. He also speaks with the Cartographer Guild, see if they can rent something that would help him make maps and help him map dungeons and catacombs and such. They get some supplies. They purchase arcane locks for bags, and okay, this is a side quest they were on. I'm sitting there going, okay, what were they doing? It's been a while since I've looked at this stuff. I love notes. Thank you, notes. And they go down by the docks to find an entrance to the catacombs, is what they're doing. And they find a door made of a mithril blend, a mithril steel. It's fireproof, and it's ancient work. It's ancient dwarven work. But not pure dwarven. It has some elven elements as well. Which pretty much was unheard of. They enter the room with sewer channels in the floor, and the room opens up, and as they open up and go into the room further, there's webs everywhere. They hack through some of the webs, they find giant spiders, kill them, and decide to continue exploring. This is typical adventure stuff. Hey, look, something big, bad, thump, thump, thump. Yeah, let's poke the bear. Let's see what else is going on here. They continue down. They find more webs. Vasto, their new wizard, cast a firebolt into the webs, only to discover that was actually a trap setup. The webs were laced with gunpowder, with black powder. And when he uses firebolt to just clear them, they actually ignite and let off a small explosion. They find a box in the room made of metal. That they can't open. And run into some giant rats. That was just a quick battle. They finally opened the box. It had various treasures in it. They divvy that up. And they explore more where they're at. And this is where they discover two ghosts. One human, I think. One dwarven. Let me see here. Yeah, one dwarven and one human. The human is female. Goes by the name of Lorik. And they find out that she is was the companion to a warrior by the name of Krill. And this is where the ghosts give them a bit of history on the world itself. They explain that the citadel that was once Stone Sentinels. So they explain how Stone Sentinels was actually formed. And it was formed by dropping a dwarven citadel into the world to close an infernal gate. Not realizing that the dwarven citadel was run by an infernal engine, which was a demonic engine. And they explain how the Sentinels worked. And the party kind of brings the ghosts up to speed, letting them know that, hey, now there's a city built on top of this dwarven citadel. And explain the goings on currently. And this is when the party realizes that somebody's trying to open up the gates again. Gets confirmation somebody's opening up the gates. Party's given a new journal, which explains a bit more back history of the world. And this is about the time that Indy's getting a little fed up with the world, realizing that people have been hiding information, been lying about the world and actually the state of the realms. And they also get information that we get names right because they're bouncing around different places here. That Krill's lover, Lorik, was enough of a hero, he was given a dwarven burial. And he was actually given a spot of honor in the Eyrie. Somewhere in the Eyrie was his tomb. And there's hints that the Eyrie fell from the inside, possibly a necromancer helped take the Eyrie down. The dwarven ghost starts asking about the other Eyries and if they'd gotten the cannons on the other Eyries working. And the rest of the party's absolutely dumbfounded by this. They didn't even know the one Eyrie existed. Now he's asking about others. And this is when the party finds other ways down, but decides to go back up to the city itself. They talk with the Cartographers Guild. And to see if he can keep some of the mapping stuff that they've acquired. And they actually let him keep some of the mapping stuff in the end. And this is when the party's actually attacked by another ghost, a dwarven ghost. Attacks the party, Indy very specifically, and tells them to leave the past lie and not return to the sewers. He lunges at Indy and then disappears, but leaving Indy cold, chilly, and feels like he's being followed and watched. And this is when the party starts comparing notes. And they meet elsewhere. They don't meet at Shadow's Haunt. They meet at another tavern. And the party decides they're going to wait to go under the city to help figure out what's going on. And this is where the party's actually given some gifts. A mysterious stranger comes at the party, tells them, whispers to them softly that they're in danger, hands them a box, and walks away. And now, in all honesty, if I'm an adventurer, somebody hands me a box, says I'm in danger, and walks away, the last thing I'm going to do is open this box. Because that box could be the whole danger. That's just me. But also, as an adventurer, I'm curious as can be. I will eventually open the box. They open it. Inside is 6 necklaces with a coin on each necklace. And then another coin. It's a small black coin. And light seems to just disappear into this coin. And it's about the size of a silver dollar. It's not exactly small. It's about the size of a silver dollar. And they do a little bit of research on it and realize it's a very powerful magic item. It's called a Disc of Fate. And how Discs of Fate work is you can break it and change one recent event. It's like a contained wish spell. The party promptly takes this disc and locks it away. It's like, oh, nope, we're not going to mess with that thing. And last I checked, they still have this thing in inventory. They still have it. They have yet to mess with it, which is interesting considering everything the party's been through. Excuse me. The party spends the night in a magical shelter built by Vasto. And they all have unsettling dreams that night. And all the dreams have a demonic theme where talons are coming up to grab the party, where demonic forces are torturing the party. All the dreams are foreboding. They're all very, very disturbing to the party. And when they wake up in the morning and they leave the safety of the tower, there's a small earthquake that hits the city, a rumbling. And when the party goes to investigate, there's black smoke billowing out of the entrance to the sewers where the party entered the day before to investigate the lower parts of the city. And Vasto hears a voice, an infernal voice, a voice speaking infernal, that says, "Come play with Samovar." As the party goes to investigate, a battle has started. And as the battle has started, a group of Griffin riders fly over and drop into the battle, leaving their mounts to fly on. The party goes ahead and starts gathering provisions for the next part of what's happening. When they make it to Shadow's Haunt, they find their benefactor, Tina, in full armor. And her barkeep bodyguard is also putting on armor and grabbing an enchanted hammer from behind the bar. They bring Tina up to speed. And Tina explains to them that the sentinels, the obelisks, are moving about 5 feet in a day. Tina also explains where the necklaces come from. They come from one of the archmages of the city by the name of Felicity. Tina takes them into the basement of the haunt, through a couple of secret doors, and into a sub-basement with another teleportation circle in it. They meet Amphivalus there, who activates 3 runes on the circle. Circle rumbles to life, vibrating everything, and rumbles to life. And they're teleported back to the Arcane Tower. They had a busy couple of days. They really did. This is about the time the party is really gelling. This is just about the current group of the party. Players are gelling. The characters are gelling. And I know I sound a little disjointed tonight. I apologize, guys. But this is where things really start rolling with this party. It's with the Arcane Tower. This is where I really started driving home the big story. They're getting a whole lot of lore in a very limited amount of time. Let's see here. So are there any questions? Do you guys want to know anything about this world, or am I just sitting here rambling? Yep, I'm a rambling. Yep, I'm a rambling. Am I making any sense at least? I usually do this with a co-host. Okay, I can do that. So the Sentinels are 5 obelisks in the city. There's 1 at each compass point and 1 in the middle. They are right about the size of the Empire State Building. They're made of a black obsidian with no visible doors or windows. All except the middle one. Now, the middle one is a little taller than the rest, and it has 1 visible door, and that's all the way up near the top of it. The Sentinels themselves are part of an elaborate trap and lock to keep an infernal gate closed. If they're all in the outward position, as in as far out by the walls as they can go, the gate's properly sealed, it's locked, everything's good. When the gate is starting to be tampered with, when the gate's starting to open, they start moving inward, because pushing them in is what opens the gate. And what has happened is some force, some infernal force, has tapped into the Sentinels and has gotten them to start moving. And the Sentinels are enough attuned with the infernal gates that these infernals can actually speak through the Sentinels as well. Send feelings, send emotions, and for people properly attuned, can actually speak with them. Think of them as an early warning device and a safety lock for a very bad gate you don't want opened. How they actually function is a mystery to the party. And I'm actually not going to reveal that here. I kind of wanted that to be a surprise. That'll be revealed by the time we wrap up the current arc, which is Dwarven Forge. How they work and everything will be revealed there. And I have no idea why I'm tired tonight, guys. But that's how they work, and that's why they're important, is they're kind of a lock and check mechanism. Very enchanted. Can be very dangerous. And I think, guys, since it is the evening before Thanksgiving, and I at least wanted to get part of a show in tonight, or most of a show in, and I've only been on stream for about an hour tonight. It's been a good day, but it's been kind of a long day. Excuse me. So I think I'm going to start wrapping things up. Again, this has been Chronicles, and I'll be back next Wednesday. Probably with one of my co-hosts. I've got a couple of co-hosts that come and go. And we'll talk a bit more about Chronicles. If you enjoyed tonight, or if you want to know more about the game, or actually watch me DM a game, every other Sunday I am running Dwarven Forge. That's right here. We start right around 1 Central and run till 6 Central at the latest. Wednesdays, I will be here usually at 7:30 Central. No, I'm sorry, 6:30 Central, not 7:30, 6:30 Central for Chronicles. I've usually got a co-host with me. We talk about the game. We talk about a few other things. Depends on what mood we're both in. Fridays, I do Game Prep Friday, where it's literally I'm prepping for one of the games I'm running. Every other Sunday, the Sundays I'm not running Dwarven Forge, I'm over on Fizzy Pop Cultured with Exiles. I'm playing there. And there's a chance we've got something else cooking, something else that's coming up. And I'm cooking up a surprise for Tuesdays in December as well. I'm cooking on something as well. So the channel's going to start getting busy. The software I use for DMing and other things is Fantasy Grounds. They are having a sale at the moment. That is my affiliate link that is just put up. The software itself is 50% off. It is the best price I've seen it. Background music is done by Tabletop Audio. Royalty-free music that runs 10-minute loops are absolutely wonderful. Icons, character frames, and such are done by Vector Moon Graphics. You can find us on YouTube under the same name, under Scarlet Watch. And I will actually post this video up on YouTube when I'm done here. We have a Discord server. If you want to know more about the game, just chat with us. See if we've got openings at a table or if we're forming a new table. Join our Discord server. Ask about. Worst I can tell you is currently no, we're not. But like I said, I've got some things in the works that is coming very, very soon. I think that is everything and everybody. I've got it all covered. And for the folks that stuck around, thank you so much. I do greatly appreciate you coming in and watching and listening. If you got any suggestions for Chronicles, please let me know. We'll run history for a while, but who knows what I'm going to do with this. I might turn it into a game stream. Who knows? We will find something to play with this. We're a little over halfway through the history of the game so far. So once we wrap up with that, we'll have to find something else to do with Chronicles. Could be a lot of fun. I'm going to go ahead and... there's only 3 of us, but I'm going to go ahead and raid somebody. Let's see who we have here. Robert, Rex... I am going to drop us into a friend of mine. She's playing Conan Exiles, I think with a group of friends. So I'm going to drop us into there. We're going to raid into them. It's Fat Chicks Plays Games. She's a friend. She's a fun person to be around. So we're going to just raid into her and say hello. Thank you, folks, for joining me.